Hi, I'm Russell and I work at the video store, the place that you can go to once a week when you're looking for something to watch. When the store is quiet, behind the counter, I get to talk to my friends about the films and the series that we're loving. All right, let's do it. Let's open up the shop.
Did you see that thing yesterday on the TV? It was ready, interesting!
How's it?
Hello.
Good morning.
How you guys doing?
Yeah, mostly good.
No complaints.
Yeah. Welcome to the video store. Thank you for wandering into our lovely video store. We've got ourselves a Cole Matthews here today.
Howdy.
You are a creative person?
Thanks.
We've never quite... We always change around. What are you?
No,
Creative
'cause that's my official
copywriter?
job title, and it's very sad. I hate being called a creative, as if it's not an adjective, but I am a video copywriter
A video
in
copywriter.
digital advertising.
Cool. We're not working at the video store. And then we've got ourselves a Samantha.
Hello, it is I.
And how do you classify yourself?
A filmmaker and general annoying person.
No, you're not annoying. You're not annoying. You're an accomplished filmmaker. Everyone should check out Do Your Worst over
Thank
on
you.
Netflix.
Yeah.
But also a writer.
A writer, a director, occasional producer. Sometimes I braai, just really all-rounded.
Do you look after the bride?
Yes.
I'm wanting to look after the bride more and more because for the most of my 40 years on this planet, I let other people bride.
Yeah. No,
And
so
I
did
now
I.
feel like on the cusp of fatherhood.
Yeah, you gotta.
I need to learn how to braai better.
I can tell you the trick, which is immediately switch to a gas braai.
Yes.
Because it's cheating.
No. I use a gas braai at home.
Yeah.
And my name is Russell. We're not braaiing on my gas braai at home. I am the owner of The Bioscope, which is an independent cinema here in Johannesburg. And we get together and work these shifts behind the counter of our video store to help you figure out what you could be watching. What do we want to talk about today? I think the big ones are a film like The Threesome,
Yeah.
which is now in cinemas, including The Bioscope. Cole, you went and watched it last week.
Yeah.
I've got two made-for-TV movies or straight-to-TV movies that are very good. One is very cheesy, but it's one of those ones that punctured through the discourse and everyone is talking about it. It's a very cheesy film. It's called The Wrong Paris on Netflix. It made its way into the meme world and everyone's talking about it. A film called Swiped, which is the biopic about the woman who was a co-founder of Tinder who went on to start Bumble, which is a very interesting story.
Cool.
Samo, what do you want to talk about?
Well, I think it's also that time of year, guys. Venice and TIFF have just ended, and so Oscar campaign season is upon us.
Yeah, and I'm already seeing posts of what people are predicting as the Oscar nominations,
Cool.
which I think is very interesting.
The hype begins.
And this is also a very cool time for the Bioscope, where it feels like these films now arrive and add the sort of fertilizer into the cinema landscape for the next 6 months.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll get into that.
100%.
Okay, cool. One little piece of
That stuff.
sort of storekeeping admin is the fact that we are going to host a Video Store Presents in the week that this episode is coming out. On Tuesday, the 23rd, we are watching This Is Spinal Tap at the Bioscope. So pretty much the day that this episode comes out is when this will be. Tickets have been selling, which is fantastic. So it's always lovely to see you guys. And it's a chance to watch the movies that some of us know and love, some of us haven't seen. Cole, you haven't seen it?
Haven't seen it.
Okay.
To my shame.
This was a seminal film for me in my varsities.
I watched it this week.
You watched
I
it this
forgot
week?
that you were doing it, and then I in the ether watched it this week.
No, because
For the first time.
because the sequel, the long-awaited sequel, is out, and actually, whether you like the sequel or not, unfortunately, it never came to South Africa. The reviews have been mixed. It doesn't matter. It doesn't take away from the fact that the original This Is Spinal Tap is one of the most seminal comedies and sort of genre challenging films.
Yeah.
I don't think we would have had The Office and Parks and Rec and a lot if it wasn't for these kinds of films to have existed before
100%.
and kind of lay the groundwork for like a fun mockumentary. So yeah, tickets are available in the link of this episode and at thebioscope.co.za. And it's always a nice chance to meet you guys, and also a nice chance to meet people that don't even know anything about the podcast. They come because of the film, and we usually greet them and say, do you know the bias? Do you know about the podcast? And if they say no, I go, well, between here and the counter, if you can show that you're a subscriber, you get a free popcorn.
Do we stand at the door like it's like our party and like shake everyone's hand? As they go in? Is
Well,
that the thing?
I do as the owner of the Bioscope and the guy who's kind of ringleaded all of you. But the more of you guys in attendance, the better.
Cool.
So no pressure, Sam, because you've seen it recently. But for someone like Cole, it would be lovely to have him, because that's the point, is to sort of have all of us watch these movies together. Cool. All right. Should we get into it?
Yeah.
All right. We always like to kick things off with a little round of, hey, did you guys see? Would you like to start, Cole?
Sure. Hey, did you guys see that Leonardo DiCaprio and Jennifer Lawrence are starring in a new Scorsese?
Okay.
Love it.
A ghost story, What Happens at Night. And what's crazy is that Leo's already involved in like several other projects with Scorsese already.
Okay.
They're doing a film about Roosevelt together.
They're doing The Wager.
The Wager.
No.
Yeah.
What's The Wager?
The Wager is a fantastic book. It's the same guy who wrote Killers of the Flower Moon.
Okay.
He wrote a book
Right.
about a shipwreck in Patagonia.
Okay.
No,
Interesting. I mean, we're always going to show up for Scorsese and DiCaprio.
100%.
Scorsese and his muse.
Yeah. And it always is cool to see those partnerships and see how they blossom and see how they evolve. What's the big thing with The Wager? Have you read it? You know,
I've read it. It's a really good time. All of David Gran's books are incredible reads.
What's his name?
David Gran.
Gran.
I hope so.
Like
With
Granny.
but with two N's.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I
and-
would say Gran.
But no, so The Wager, basically, these guys disappear kind of to sail around South America, and they get shipwrecked in Patagonia. And then, as far as England knows, they're missing. But 2 years later, survivors show up from the shipwreck. And then 6 months after that, these other survivors show up, and they have different stories about what happened.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, cool. That's a good tease.
Okay.
That's a really good tease. Well done.
Thank you.
Nice.
Crush that.
Sam, being a filmmaker and a writer, you know how to
So, the
how
elevator
to set
pitch.
up
Yeah.
the premise. Yeah.
Just enough information, but not too much.
You know the hook.
Yeah.
Cool. Sam, have you got any?
Hey, did you guys see the trailer for Nouvelle Vague? The new Richard Linklater has dropped.
Yes.
Yeah, I will say mixed reviews, but I saw the trailer and I was just like so delighted by the idea of making a film about Jean-Luc Godard, about the new wave,
Yes.
and about Richard Linklater doing it.
I agree. Okay, let's set up a little bit of context.
Yeah, for those who don't know.
Throughout the history of cinema, which is sort of basically just over 100 years old,
Yes.
Hollywood's dominated the mainstream and been the studio system and made the real Hollywood pictures. But around the world have been these little pockets of movements that have tried to make something different.
Yes.
And one of which was the French New Wave,
Yes.
which was a series of filmmakers that made a very particular kind of film.
There were also critics that became filmmakers.
Filmmakers.
Yeah,
Yes.
they approached it from a very academic point of view, trying to change the mold, so to speak. And one of which was Jean-Luc Godard. And there was also a film that I think is probably one of his more famous ones.
Is Breathless.
Is Breathless.
Which is what this movie is about. Is about the making of
Okay.
Breathless.
It's about the making of Breathless.
Is that a future Video Store podcast presents?
100%. And also, the other thing that's happening is the Bioscope has turned 15 this year. And so we've looked back on a lot of our very cool highlights that we've achieved and done in the last 15 years. And unquestionably, one of them was setting up a 16mm projector in the cinema. This was back in the Maboneng days, when we had a 16mm copy of Breathless.
That's wild.
A bout de souffleur
Yeah.
is its
Well done.
French name. And with the Alliance and IFAS, were able to pull off a 16mm projection of Breathless in the cinema.
I'm very jealous.
That was very cool.
Yeah.
And it was one of those, like, I don't think we realize how cool
That's
it
special.
is that we're
Yeah.
doing it. We often, like, are able to call on the catalog. So once a month, we've got this French cinema club, which we have at the Bioscope. And the last one we did was a Godard film, but it's one of the later ones in color and in the 80s.
And he starts to hate the audience, which is like a thing that
And a lot of
happens.
these filmmakers were very prolific because, as I said, they thought of it more as sort of academic work than these precious pieces of art.
Yeah.
But
I think-
Breathless is special.
Breathless is really special. It's like it's this early period for them where they're like still in love with like 1940s, 1950s film noirs, and so there is still a callback to like the kinds of cinema that people recognize and know. But at the same time, they're like, how do we redefine what a film is and what it has to be? Whereas the later work becomes a lot more like, how do I change the form, and less about storytelling, and
Right.
So there's things for everyone in Godard's body of work, but I just think some people are mixed on this Richard Linklater film, but it's just, I think a lot of people are like, it's charming as hell, and I think an interesting piece of cinema history to engage with.
It's a good word to describe his movies, actually, is charming.
Yeah.
And it's quite creepy to actually see the trailer if you know the movie Breathless, because it just looks like such a perfect
The casting.
sort of recreation, and there's just this like,
There's a love for it.
but also just anyone who appreciates like style, fashion,
Yes.
makeup, art direction, you realize like how much we take
All the
from
time.
these films that are so old,
Yeah.
and this like very particular style, and there's like that, what is it, New York Herald Tribune?
Yes. That's
And
it.
it's just like there are these moments from Breathless,
Yeah.
and it's like them smoking cigarettes in the bed, and it's just
Oh.
lovely.
So French.
And he does this thing with his mouth.
Yep. Said the trailer as well. It's
It's
wild.
just like, it's such a cool movie.
Yeah.
Like Breathless is just such a cool movie, and you just realize how timeless cool is, and how timeless like a great style can be.
Yes.
Where you can watch this old movie and it just feels like a bunch of cool New Yorkers made it last week.
It's true.
Yeah. I brought this up last week, but I wanted to specifically bring it up again for you guys.
Huh?
Hey, did you guys see the trailer for Wuthering Heights?
Yes.
So I have not watched the trailer for Wuthering Heights, but this is because I want to talk about what I think is also a good thing, and I know it's bad for the podcast.
Okay.
But I've also not watched the trailer for One Battle After Another.
Okay.
And what I've decided is for films I'm super excited about
Okay.
Not watch trailers.
to not watch the trailer.
Well
Okay.
done.
Cool.
Yeah. So which makes me useless to the podcast. I've just
No,
realized.
no. You add so much value, Sam. Don't you worry.
No.
But this is Emerald Fennell,
Fennell, I
Fennell?
believe. Yeah.
which is such a cool name.
Yeah.
It is a very cool name.
Emerald is such a cool
No,
name
it's
for a
beautiful.
So
for a
this
woman.
is, she did Promising Young Woman. She did
Saltburn.
Saltburn, that's the
Yeah.
one. And this is the third one.
Okay. Do you know anything about the book?
I know a reasonable amount about the book, but I've never read it.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it
It's-
is it a what do you know about the book? Is it a difficult read?
It's not a difficult read as far as I know. Again, I have never read it, but like it's one of the Bronte sisters.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like classic, like it's that era of like sort of like woeful romance, like women wanting things in a world that they weren't allowed to.
To what?
But wasn't Bronte quite feminist?
I think so. Yes. All three of the Bronte sisters were like authors and feminists.
Okay.
In the same way, I cannot remember the timeline relationship to Jane Austen, but those books are always grouped together.
Yes.
Whereas like Jane Austen is like lighthearted comedy, the Bronte sisters are like very sad and heavy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of controversy with the trailer. The book lovers versus the film adaptation. Yeah.
Okay.
She like, and this is why I haven't watched the trailer. Is like I think her films are interestingly divisive, in an exciting way.
Yeah.
And part of like avoiding watching it is like I don't want to have an expectation of what the marketing team wants me to get out of the film.
Yes.
Okay.
I want to go in because I think Saltburn. I got saltburned a little.
Yeah, I
by the
wanted
trailer.
to. Okay, because that's such a
love
lovely
that.
verb. Because so many people got saltburned, and I loved what that film did. Just
Yeah.
a reminder, I've brought this up many times, but this is one of those special cases where a exotic, weird, bold art house film got presented to a mainstream audience.
Yeah.
And everyone got duped, and they were like, "Ooh, okay, let's give this a try. It's on Amazon." And everyone was like, "Oh my god, he is sucking the
I don't want to see Barry
semen
Keoghan doing that.
the semen out of the bathtub plug." You know,
Yeah.
where it's like, "Phew, you don't forget that." And you're like, "That's what art house is.
Yeah.
That's the magic of cinema.
Yeah.
Is to make a piece of art that you won't forget."
Yes.
You know, it's like, fuck, that's the point. And so many people got saltburned.
Yeah.
I love
Exactly. And I think to a degree the same thing happened with Promising Young Woman. Like it's people got really excited by the trailer and then really upset by the film. Like
Yeah.
there was a lot of love for it, but there was also, and so I think whatever you think of, if you've read Wuthering Heights and you love Wuthering Heights, or if you haven't, you're coming to it cold. I think this is going to be an interesting film. It's going to try things.
Yes. And I just like things like we're almost returning to the new 2025 version of like, it's not quite the same, but it's like where like there's a song that a big artist has done for the movie that is part of its selling point.
Yes.
So Charlie XCX has made a song for this movie, and that is part of its selling point.
Totally.
It feels a little bit like the sort of Will Smith era where it's like, and I'll give you a song.
Yeah, it felt like Barbie was pushing that a little bit as well.
Yeah.
It was like we've had all these artists make music for the movie, and I'm excited to see that happen again.
I think it's a nice economy.
Yeah.
But for someone like you, Cole, I think you've got old. It's Jacob Elordi.
I'm not. He's not really my.
He's not your guy.
Okay.
He's not your guy.
No.
Who's your guy at the moment, Cole?
No. T. It's Human Torch in the Fantastic Four, and he was in the war movie Warfare
Oh,
as well.
Oh shit!
from Stranger Things.
From Stranger Things.
Joseph Quinn.
Yes. Joseph
Quinn.
Joseph Quinn.
yes. And also A Quiet Place Part 2. He was stunning in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's beautiful.
Well, here's a little call to later on in the chat.
Oh.
Is a particularly handsome guy that's shown up in 2 movies that I watched this past weekend.
Cool.
Someone
love a
who
handsome
I'm
guy.
curious to get your opinion on.
My
Dashingly
ranking.
handsome, but we'll get to it. Kolsky, you got another one?
Yes, I suppose we can talk about the films as well later in the podcast, but I think it's worth mentioning how well Demon Slayer Infinity Castle is doing at the box office.
Yeah.
Which is just wildly surprising. For people that don't know, the first film that came out of the Demon Slayer anime series is like a continuation of the series. Often these films are like separate films entirely in terms of their story to what's happening in the main series arc. But this series has done something different where it makes films that continue the series story narrative.
Has
right?
the series finished?
No.
Oh,
No.
okay.
Well, yes, I think I know what you're trying to say. The 3 films that are coming out now, of which Infinity Castle is the first,
Yes.
are the end of the show, from what I've read.
Okay.
The end of that story arc, right?
Yeah.
And at the time, Demon Slayer Mugen Train came out in like 2020. I think it was like during or after or before COVID, somewhere around there. And it was the highest grossing anime film in Japan's history, overtook Spirited Away.
That is a wild statistic.
It's wild, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's not even a standalone anime movie. It's a continuation of a series. So the series was that big that people went to the cinema to carry on watching the
Yeah.
story. And now this has happened again with Infinity Castle. And the stat that I saw, which is wild as well, it's the highest opening weekend international film in US history. Okay.
International film. So yeah, a
Yes.
film.
So like a
outside
Parasite.
of- yeah.
You know, like those kinds of movies that will show up in American shores.
That's interesting. Because it is such a widely known series. Because I personally don't know it, and I haven't watched any part of it. But I participated as a cinema because the distributor that looks after it was like, you should consider it. Like
Absolutely.
it'll be big, it'll be cool. And we've got Dumpling Box Cinema here at the Bioscope where we put on anime films and people eat dumplings. So we had that last week. Cole, you were in attendance, and it was a lovely sold-out event for Demon Slayer, which was cool.
That's awesome.
Something he did say, which I don't think was shouldn't be seen as a bad thing, but he was like, I think you got a small window. It's not a grower. It's not a film that's going to, just be a wildfire that'll go over. He's like, it's a moment. It's like you got like a few weeks to capitalize on this, where all the fans will watch it and then they'll move on.
Yes, like all the fans will show up immediately for it.
Yeah.
Whereas it's hard to do word of mouth on that film because like you're telling me about it and I'm like, that sounds amazing, but I have no context for this.
Yeah,
exactly.
And it also might not be quite the kind of thing that you would dive into now.
Yeah.
But it's definitely like you've built up for it and it's a moment, and I definitely felt like there was the appetite for it this week.
Yes.
The week that we were recording is sort of
You
we're
felt
in
it.
the middle of it now. It's like it will die out. But that's cool.
Another crazy stat is that it's the biggest Japanese movie worldwide ever, with $555 million.
That's a mind-blowing statistic.
It's like
There's so much cinema
from Japan.
and so many other animes.
Yes.
Oh, that's
It is
huge.
like, that is massive news.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool. Sema?
I don't have any other, as aforementioned, I've been avoiding trailers.
Okay, magic. Cool. All right. Let's talk about the threesome.
Yes.
Kolski.
Me, I'm up. I mean, I saw the trailer, but I kind of had forgotten what to expect stylistically, tonally, and then just sat down in the cinema with my friend to watch a comedy about a threesome. And I haven't seen a South African cinema have that much fun before.
That's great.
Okay.
Ever.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Like, in terms of how vocal they were, in terms of how they were responding to every story beat that happens. For people that don't know, the back of the box is a story about a guy who's hitting on a waitress that he had a fling with once upon a time. And she's kind of giving him bats. Okay? And his gay friend at the bar is like, hey, do you see that little girl over there? She got stood up on her date.
This is another woman. Yeah.
This is another woman.
Yeah.
It's like, why don't you rather go show her, like, make her evening better, because shame, she got stood up. Like, that's not cool. Look at how sad she looks. So he goes to start chatting to her, but then waitress sees him getting attention from another woman and starts to, get inside that situation herself. And then initiates, through consequence events, a threesome between the three of them. And waitress gets knocked up. It's not. I don't think it's too much of a spoiler to say that it's first an event to figure out whether or not she's going to keep the baby, whether or not they're going to stay together, because this is a big development in their interaction and their relationship. And just when she decides, cool, we're going to date, I'm going to keep the baby, other chickie from the threesome shows up, and she's like, I'm pregnant.
So yeah, that's the premise.
That's a phenomenal premise.
After
good,
a whimsical threesome, a man gets both girls pregnant. But the main goal, it's a lovely love story about them just finding the right time and having the vulnerability to commit. And it's one of those, like, just when you think like, cool, they're good, they're in a great place, then it's like curveballs. So it's lovely writing in that sense. And there was a quote which we stuck to, myself and the publicist Rochelle here at the Bioscope, which we tried to use as a good angle to sell the film, which is like, it's just such a lovely 2025 story about the messiness of today, where, it's not like, I am 20 and have now hit puberty and now I must be married. It's it's messy. You do this and then you do that. And then the next morning it's different. If you're not getting the love, you go somewhere else. Our poor guy is really trying his best and doing the best with what he has at every point in the story. So it's a great film. And it's also, I always like to point these out wherever I can. If anyone is an aspiring writer, you could make this today in Joburg.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just about good writing, good moments. They're at a wedding. They're at a bar. They go to the doctor's office. It's like that could be anywhere in the world.
Absolutely.
There's a reason my first film is a rom-com.
Yeah.
And it's the accessibility of being able to make them.
Yes.
Totally.
And I just want to, like, again, I haven't seen the film, but she is lovely in other things. Zoe Deutsch.
Yeah.
And has done like a series of very interesting contemporary rom-coms that like are dealing with like the complexity of like relationships and relationship dynamics as they shift, because they're always shifting. I never know what's going on.
Yeah.
I'm an old married woman now.
But a good thing to point out, because to talk about these movies is often how I feel instinctively I have to sell them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I've got 1 minute to point to the poster on the wall in the lobby and make a pitch for this film. So you can give them that funny premise, but I think it's almost just as important to follow up with, that sounds like the premise of a 90s Ryan Reynolds dumb comedy, but it's not that.
It's When Harry Met Sally.
It's a smarter, wittier, nuanced
Tonally, it feels like a spiritual
2025
successor.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's amazing. And talking about the poster, it's part of why I didn't go see it.
Yeah.
It's not a good poster, guys.
Yeah, it's kind
not
of
a
hard,
good
but it's
poster.
hard to sell. And also, like, the moment you call it the threesome, it sounds like the proposal, the
Yeah.
whatever, the
But I do think there's this question of like how do you market these films that like have like both the romantic comedy premise, but also this sort of like deeper, more naturalistic, more kind of like engaged commentary. Materialists is one that suffered
yes,
hard.
exactly. And I was literally about pointing to you to talk about Materialists, because there was a poster I did see, which was more of an art house poster. There was it was the three of them standing at the wedding, looking towards the camera, and it was a much more simple, stylistic, arty poster.
Yeah.
The poster we got in South Africa was like the most rom-com-y poster you could imagine. It was like the blocks of the faces smiling in amongst pictures of the city, the hand drawn. It looked like As Good as It Gets, or those like sort of
Oh.
kooky, like real video store films.
And that's how the trailers marketed it. They were like, it's a return to 90s rom-coms. And I'm like, it is not.
It is not that. No,
It's
and
not that at all. It's Celine's song, guys.
you're
She's
gonna be saltburned.
Yeah. but interestingly, just talking about statistics, that film has done really well. That film has continued to grow and is now, I think, it's over $100 million worldwide. For that film, it's brilliant.
Yes. No, and if it's good, it will shine through. And my hope is that the threesome can do that to some degree, because it's a grower, not a shower.
Yeah.
Where Demon Slayer was a shower.
Absolutely. It's like, here I am.
Well,
Bang.
I have to say, just from that premise, I am sold on going to see it. It is not the movie that the poster made me think it was.
The threesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, so you can see that's why I felt you had to follow it up with that.
I think
It'll be it would be nice in a cinema, because as you said, Cole, you had this lovely reaction from audience.
because it's
and
like when this boy makes decisions, when things show up, when things start to go wrong even more, everyone's just like, oh shit, like what are you doing?
That's so
It's
cool.
like vocal.
I saw it as an exhibitor, so it was just me and the folks. I think I was with the Stir Kinnickle guys, who I love. I've really come to know these people, and I see them more than I see members of my family, because
That makes sense.
At least once a week we're in a cinema together. And it was great. I remember once needing to run to the bathroom, because we watch these movies at like 9 a.m. So when you have like a full Coke Zero, you need to
After your
wee
morning
quite.
coffee.
Do you remember how many times I weed in Oppenheimer when we watched that at 9 a.m? I was like,
He doesn't actually know what happened.
No.
something about a bomb.
Yeah.
No, and it was great. When I came back, I could sort of turn to her and go like, "What did he do? What did he? Like, is he going with it? Is he not? What happened?" No, it was lovely.
That's cool.
But I do think, just before we move on from the threesome, is like that's a thing that people should be aware of for comedies in general. Like, the more people you can watch a comedy with, the better the experience is going to be.
Absolutely.
If you are sitting by yourself at home watching your comedy on streaming, you're going to go, huh. And that's the end of your laugh, guys.
Absolutely.
If you're in a group, in a cinema, it is absolutely the best experience. I had it with Naked Gun recently.
Yes.
Just people egg each other on. Like, so come to the bioscope, go to your local cinema, watch comedies.
And I'd imagine that's the psychology of the laugh track, and why quite early on, in at least sitcoms, they were like, we have to have it.
Yes.
There needs to be this guide.
Yeah.
And there needs to be this cue, and there needs to be this feeling that you are laughing amongst other people.
100%.
There has to be this shared experience, even if it's just you laughing with
Sure.
the Friends laugh track.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a very compassionate movie. That's like also the thing I got from it. It's like very soft with its characters and understanding, and it's like there's a lot of empathy for what these people are going through individually, like in this experience, and like between this tryst, this like love triangle between the three of them. It's
Yeah.
beautiful. Oh, I actually want to watch it again.
Yeah, come and watch it at the Bioscope.
Yeah.
100%.
No, I wanted to give it a go. I knew it was going to get lost in the chaos, and I knew it wasn't going to be this big, award season darling, which we'll get into, which are sometimes more of the challenging, more out there films. But it's delightful. All right, let's talk some TV.
Sure.
Okay. I thought it'd be interesting to tell you guys about my experience with The Summer I Turned Pretty.
Oh my God.
Okay. I know nothing about it. I've
Yeah.
never watched it. It is on Amazon. But for some reason, and if anyone can tell me, but I'm sure it was a collective plan, that season 3 came to an end with a particular episode that was released last week, Wednesday, around the world. And someone, influencers or perhaps directed from the show, put a call out to the world on TikTok to say, have watch parties for this final episode. So out of nowhere, the Bioscope was consistently bombarded. Sounds dramatic, but there were a lot. There were at least 6 or 7 email inquiries for someone wanting to hire the Bioscope to have a watch party to watch this last episode.
That's
And
amazing.
due
That is
to
so cool.
due to just numbers or kind of, the Bioscope only seats roughly 50. 1 or 2 moved on, or 1 or 2 maybe had other plans or other venues. We eventually hosted 2.
Wow.
2 groups came through. And now this could sound racial, and I don't want it to be seen as that. It's meant to be a
Demographic analysis.
just a interesting
Insight.
observation. But every single email I got was from a Muslim community girls group.
That's
Community girls
Fascinating.
group,
Yeah,
not
where they're
just
like-
an individual.
An individual to say, I have a group, it's called this, and we get together and we do stuff together.
What?
To the point where when the first inquiries came through, I was like, is this the same group? Ignorantly, I was like,
Yes.
you guys sound like you could be the same person. Because sometimes we've had this with the Bioscope where like 2 or 3 people in the organizing group go, I'll message
I'll
the
do it."
Bioscope. And then it's confusing because they ask about the exact same day
yeah.
and the exact same time. And I go, wait, are you with this person? And sometimes they go like, yeah.
What's happening is there's one person who's in charge and there's one person who doesn't think that person should be in charge.
Yes, exactly.
politics in the group.
After we cleared that up, we worked it out. And I just thought, this is so fascinating. And then at one point when we met and I showed them the Bioscope and I sort of asked and I said, why do you think the only emails I got for this show, which isn't a show about Muslim women,
No.
why do you think I've only ever gotten emails from like halal practicing women's groups? And they were like, well, we are mobilized in a sense that we've created these groups because we have these interesting shared practices. You can only eat certain foods. You can only do
Right.
things at certain times in the day. So you don't fit into the general humdrum of Joburg.
Yeah.
You've got to operate slightly differently.
Wow.
And so they have mobilized these amazing groups.
That is so cool.
And I just thought that was fucking awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
But also, low-key, the Bioscope for episode watch parties is such a good idea and more people should do it.
Totally.
Like-
No, and this is the start of
Like you
of
should
me.
do that with the Stranger Things movies that are coming out at the end of the year.
Well, I've so at one point we did quite an official Netflix event
Yeah.
where a local PR company who have the Netflix account were at this event to promote this particular episode or this particular movie. It was called The Valley of a Thousand Hills or the something of a Thousand
Remember
Hills.
it? Yeah.
And it had a sort of queer flavor to it as a film. And so there was an influencer who was hosting a screening of it, and there was multicolored sushi, and it was a whole fabulous event.
Amazing.
And I tried to reach out to them, and because I wanted to say, guys, what the fuck are we doing with with Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Are we going to watch this on our tiny little TVs, or are we going to do some kind of a screening at the bioscope for Frankenstein? Because that's a movie you want to watch on a big screen.
Absolutely.
I haven't heard.
You've got to get everyone to pay for a month of Netflix as they come in as well.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
that's the problem, is like to group everyone together. I mean, I'm not no scam on Netflix. Like, I don't know what their thing is, but I can imagine that this is the problem.
right.
Is like to have
technically it's not legal. It needs to be in a home dwelling or some
Yes.
shit.
but one could get permission. But
Yes.
like, obviously,
No, that's
for
what I was
them,
trying to reach out to Netflix to.
it's also
to
like
get.
have some imagination. Let's do something cool with your little
Oh,
movie. That should totally be a cinema release. It's bizarre that it's not a cinema release.
I think in other parts of the world it is
yeah.
Okay.
because it has to do a cinema release to qualify for
The Oscars.
events and Oscars and stuff.
Of course.
But yeah, no, that is something I'd love to get more blessing of and do.
We
And
must try.
like I've also like we never really wanted to do sports, but I thought like I've long since played with the idea of like imagine having the Wimbledon finals where everyone in the audience is like eating cucumber sandwiches
And dressed in like
and
Wimbledon
dressed
tennis
in
outfits.
tennis whites. And I've had these ideas.
That's a great idea.
But yeah, I think we can play with it. I don't think, as I said, technically there's legal grey areas, but I don't think there's something wildly wrong.
No.
Cool. So,
What were the two movies?
yes. So, my lovely wife, Leslie, wanted to watch The Wrong Paris, and I was tolerating that.
The passenger seat on that one.
And to be honest, I don't mind. I don't mind watching, the Christmas movie around Christmas.
Yeah.
I personally love the gooey stuff, which we've spoken about here on the show, which is, and I'm fascinated at how well these genre films can make you feel a certain way and completely enchant you. And I will start by saying anyone in post-production, not so much post-production, but anyone who is in the craft of making films, not the vision of a storyteller, but more the physical craft of filmmaking, should watch this movie to realize how perfect every shot is. Not in a film cool cinephile way, just how like they have made this film the most immaculate looking film.
That's also a note for the threesome.
To the point where this looks a little like almost like AI generated.
Serious?
How like perfect the lighting. It's so rich in color, and it's fascinating to see how slick this film is. So, anyways, it's the other thing that's interesting about the Wrong Paris is that it stars the girl who I think had the sort of most standout role in School of Rock.
Okay.
She was the girl who
Miranda Cosgrove.
no,
Yes. Yes, Miranda Cosgrove.
Miranda Cosgrove. Yes.
She was also iCarly.
Yes.
What's iCarly?
It's a Nickelodeon show from many a yonk ago.
Okay.
Her co-star wrote a book called I'm Glad My Mum Died, which is being made into a TV show with Jennifer Aniston.
I'm fascinated by that book.
Yeah.
I wanted to find that book.
Love for us being like, what's iCarly? Because it's such a good insight into you.
Why
Just
would
like,
I know
no,
that?
it's just like not your world at all. You know?
No.
On that same note, I had a friend tell me the best story ever. She was in New York. She's a young black woman. She was at a party and they were talking about La La Land. And I don't know why, but she was annoyed at the general context of the party. But she was just like, what's the blackest thing I can do right now? And so someone asked her what she thought of La La Land. She just went, what's that? Everyone just went,
Jesus.
hilarious and on point.
That is stunning.
Yeah.
It's cool to see a grown-up version of her, because for me, Miranda Cosgrove is this little girl from School of Rock. She's the one. Was she the one who was like, I went home and I googled what a groupie is, and I don't want to be a groupie.
Yes.
Yeah.
She wants to be like the boss of
So
the
she
band.
becomes the boss of the
The
band.
manager of the band, yeah.
So here's our girl living in small town America who wants to be an artist, and she makes rather shitty steel sculptures. the kind of things that you could kind of get at like a flea market.
This is why you don't write
But
artists or musicians.
But there's art involved, and she's been saving up her whole life to go to
Jesus.
a art school in Paris. But she can't afford it because recently she had to help pay for her grandmother's like surgeries.
Okay.
Because her parents died in a car accident, so she's lived with her grandmother. And then they discover one way in which she can not only get to Paris for her because she got in, but she didn't get a bursary.
Okay.
So one way to get to Paris is if she enters the newest season of a dating show.
Gotcha.
Which is going to take place in Paris. So then she goes, oh, okay, fine, I'll do it. And of course, she's the weird chickie who doesn't play by the rules of this reality TV show. And they all go, we're going to Paris. They all get little French flags and what's the fucking thing you put on your head?
Beret.
Beret. And they sleep on the plane and they spend hours on this plane flying to Paris. But turns out they've actually been circling the air and they've landed back in Paris, Texas.
Lol.
And this is the whole dupe of the show. Is like, surprise, you're actually in Paris, Texas. She's like, my God, I live 40 minutes away. Like, what the fuck? But meanwhile, she was hoping to get to Paris. But the bachelor in question is the most handsomest fucking man you've ever seen.
I
like
just
to the
found
point.
this picture of him.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Yeah, with abs that look
How
fucking
many abs
AI.
are there?
They look AI generated.
Yeah. If
does
you're
look AI
listening,
generated.
Google him now.
His name is Pearson Faudet.
Yeah, how do you pronounce the surname?
It's
Faudet.
got a chukka on the E.
It's got a little like unk.
Yeah. An umlaut.
It's not an umlaut. An
Oh.
umlaut is the two dots.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought
It's
it was
an
like a
accent.
general
This is a
accent.
a flare. A flare.
It's Faudet.
Faudet.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So he's the most handsomest fucking dude in the world. That also just happens to be the nicest guy.
Oh.
Like,
His character's a nice guy.
just
Oh, we're talking about not the person.
I don't fucking know what he's like as a
Jeez,
person.
he is beautiful, dude.
But
Fucking-
just makes the choice as an actor to play a role where not only is he fucking handsome, but he's just a nice guy.
I love that.
Okay.
good for him.
And he gets hurt. He gets really hurt when he finds out that she was just using him to get to Paris. So fucking it's cheesy as fuck, but
Yeah.
it's great.
Cool.
It's a lovely Sunday afternoon
Yeah.
mooch on the couch film. It's a mooch film.
It's a mooch
I
film.
love
Let's
a
call
mooch.
it a mooch film.
Yeah.
We need to remember this because we always come up with cool names.
We tend to use them.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a mooch
A
film.
mooch film.
And yeah. So
Also, there is another famous film set in Paris, Texas. Just to
just
to
exactly.
tell people.
And so this is what I did find
so
interesting
funny.
is that there is a very famous film called Paris, Texas,
Yeah.
which is on my I should have seen by now list, but sadly haven't.
It's a very beautiful film. It's a challenging film. It is the opposite of what this
Almost the complete opposite, yeah.
and somewhere there is like a producer or a director who's having a good laugh about the fact that this
Yes.
is set in Paris. It's a reference to Paris, Texas.
Yeah. What is Paris, Texas?
It's a Wim Wenders film about a guy looking for his wife.
Okay.
And it's I kind of can't describe it to you. It is to be experienced.
Isn't it Alien Harry Dean Stanton?
It's Harry Dean Stanton,
Oh, he's
Natasha Kinski's
amazing.
in it. It's incredibly beautiful. I had the privilege of watching a 16mm.
Oh, cool.
Cool.
And yeah, I literally it's indescribable except to say that it's heartfelt, it's emotive, and it's very, very weird.
It's a vibe film.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's a vibe film. That's what Perrin once said, and I was like, oh, I get that.
Yeah.
It's not about the narrative. It's not
No.
about it's about the vibe of
Yeah.
watching
Is
it.
that Breathless as well? Is Breathless a vibe film?
Yeah.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
much so. And they can be completely different vibes.
Yeah.
But it's a vibe film.
It's a vibe film.
My relationship with Paris, Texas, the film, is having Dave Grohl, who up until he fathered a kid outside of his marriage was somewhat of a hero to me.
Yeah.
He said that the soundtrack to Paris, Texas, recorded by a guitarist called Ry Cooder, a lot of slide guitar, and he was like, that is the greatest album of all time. So that stuck with me. I looked for it. It's not just available for you to stream. And I saw it once in a bin because, I look for soundtracks
Yes.
for the Bioscopes gift shop. And I was like, I've got it. So I've got the soundtrack, but I haven't watched the movie yet.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, in his opinion, it's the greatest album of all time.
Wow.
Later on in the weekend, we then watched a more serious film, which is okay. So The Wrong Paris. This is on Netflix, and it's very much a Netflix film.
Yeah.
Which is these
It's kind of got Hallmark
fun,
vibes.
charming Hallmark. I think Netflix is fun Hallmark movies and like reality TV show sort of gunk.
Yeah.
You know, the reality dating shows, and so it's kind of interesting that they make this film about a reality dating show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Over on Disney is a film called Swiped.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is about the story of a woman called Whitney Wolf, who was right at the beginning, at the start of Tinder, and was involved in Tinder as it was a little startup and how it became the big thing that it was, and was caught in a lot of harassment in a sense, the challenges of being a woman in these kind of bigger tech bro environments, and also personally was under sort of quite a lot of attack, and the story of how she then went on to start Bumble. So it's great. I just love the fact that, you know, we tend to think the biopic has to be about much older history, but because everything is moving so fucking quickly, it's worth talking about these stories. I think it's very interesting to understand that when you are in such a public space as a famous celebrity, people can make stories about, they can make films about your life, and they don't need your permission.
Really?
In most cases, they don't. It's very
I didn't know
difficult
that.
because you are so public.
Yeah.
Okay.
Someone can write. Someone can write an unauthorized biography.
Yeah.
And you can option that book.
Yeah.
You can get the rights to that, the material of that. You can draw from public records.
Yeah.
So she, rather interestingly, hasn't been involved in this film. She doesn't really personally want much to do with it.
Yeah.
She sort of said, I'm both equally flattered and terrified by this movie. She said she got halfway through watching the trailer.
Really?
Yeah. Because
Oh,
it's
that
like
must be
deeply
so-
personal, but
Yeah.
they make it clear that she she also couldn't say a lot about a lot of these court cases and how she exited Tinder and what she had to sort of pay for when she couldn't get involved. So she also, but they make it clear that this is a dramatization,
Yeah.
and I think there's a lot of discussion about that responsibility, because we've spoken a bit about it with like the Netflix biopics about like those serial killers and the
Yes.
Mendoza brothers,
Oh.
and you know,
American-
how far can you take it? So I
it's
think there is a
problematic.
big responsibility there, but if it's for the greater good of trying to kind of dramatize what it probably was like, there's something interesting there.
He's
But
also-
she went on and changed laws, not to give too much away, because there's a lovely sort of title card at the end. But really what is at the heart of the story is how Tinder became a breeding ground for things like dick pics and
Yeah.
harassment, and how she felt that too, and how she wanted to create Bumble, and she wanted to sort of give women more rights and confidence and space. And there's a great example of her going, if a man whips out his dick in the park, you know, he can be put in jail,
Yeah.
but he does it online and it's fine.
Sure.
Like, what's the difference? Like, where's the accountability? And how she was quietly in the back responsible for amending a lot of these laws.
Yeah.
So it's a great film, and our main character is Lily James,
Yes.
Oh, we love Lily James.
who is a
She's
really
wonderful.
great actress.
Yeah. It was great in Baby Driver.
Very cool in Baby Driver. She's quite a chameleon in many senses. Like the fact that she could be Pamela Anderson
Yeah.
so convincingly
Yes.
is awesome.
Hammond's Hummy, I forgot about that.
And that was actually, funny enough, quite similar to this, where the females in question that she was portraying had very little to do with the film and were very nervous and very scared about what was happening, and in a way actually not really stoked that their story was being
Ham and Tommy,
told.
it was a bit messy.
Yeah.
It was a bit messy. So she's at the helm of 2 of these projects,
She's also a producer on Swiped.
but she's one of the
Okay.
producers of this. Yeah. But ultimately, it's I think often in our confusing left or right, Democrat, Republican,
Right.
I think in all these sort of worlds that we live in that are very polarized, sometimes you've got to argue what's the net positive of something. And in this case, it was important to understand the story of Tinder and what happened and just to understand this person's role and tell the story
Totally.
from someone that really wasn't getting her story told. So like Cole, in the beginning, she was promised, you're a co-founder and you can stand up amongst us. But, later down the line, when a big Time article happened, she wasn't in the photo shoot. She wasn't listed as one. And by the end was
It's like written out of
history. So that's why it is cool to write her history back in.
Totally.
Yes.
And I do think this is part of a very interesting subgenre of films, which is
what?
Silicon Valley.
Yes.
We're going to tell Silicon Valley stories. I most recently watched Blackberry.
Blackberry's a cool one.
The Social
The Social
Network is the
Network,
obvious
yeah,
one,
of course.
which inexplicably they're making apparently a sequel.
Yeah.
Jesse Eisenberg has passed. Jeremy Strong might play Mark Zuckerberg. And I think Aaron Sorkin is directing, which is
directing and
which
writing.
is stressful.
What could possibly be the sequel? It's slow
More
decline.
Facebook.
Like how,
Oh, no, it's
how
when
all your parents got on
It's
it.
Mark Zuckerberg's glow up.
Yeah.
His glow up that he had with his gold chain and his muscles.
Yeah.
We just became Zuck.
Yeah, exactly. The Zuck.
But
Well,
And he got into Joe Rogan, and everyone was like, "Nah, dude."
But sorry, to the same degree, like you're talking about like how the threesome is this wonderful like fabric of like dating, and like to a degree Swiped is in the same realm. But these we're making biopics of like recent history, like these are the things that define our lives, the technology we use, all of these things. How did it get made? Like is those are interesting conversations
Absolutely.
to have.
Absolutely.
no, and it is our history. These are
And
these are the big moments of our lives.
exactly. I remember that's the feeling everyone had when the Social Network came out. We were just like, this was like 4 years,
4 years
ago,
ago,
when Facebook came out.
Yeah.
So this is
Yeah.
such recent history. Why is it interesting?
Yeah.
That you watch them and be like, oh,
Yeah.
it's fucking interesting.
I
Well-
think, shout out to the Dropout, the TV show about Elizabeth Holmes and her blood bank startup. She's now in jail for lying to
that's such a
investors.
crazy story.
But it's I highly recommend a watch of that if you're into this genre of like Silicon
That was
Valley.
like a 23andMe thing. Well, what was her big thing?
She claimed that she could have a household machine that could take a drop of your blood and analyze it, like to the degree that like several vials of blood could be
Okay.
analyzed, which was nonsense. And she fooled a lot of venture capitalists and basically
Okay.
she
got
made
done
like
in
$1
on fraud.
billion
Yeah.
evaluation.
She was the next Steve Jobs.
Yes.
Yeah, she
and
was
it was
like
all lies.
cover of Forbes and things,
Yeah.
right?
No, but
Yeah.
these stories are great, and
was-
it's so nice for us to just get the diagnosis.
The
and get
audacity of this woman.
Yeah.
Dude. That's like
It's on Disney Plus. I highly recommend it.
okay. That sounds awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, so Swiped is on
Love to
Disney
watch
Plus
that.
too. But we get treated to a series of rather toxic men in her life in Swiped. In particular,
no.
one of the kind of co-founders who turned out to be a bit of a mean guy.
Is Pearson Forde a toxic boy?
No. So
Okay.
then, when she's on the cusp of creating some form of dating site that can be more woman-centric, there is a handsome guy in a bar. And her friend goes, what are you going to do? Is he going to come to you? You should wait. He'll come to you. And then I don't want to give too much away, but it was like, it's part of how Bumble sort of became the thing where she's like, I need to go to him. And that became the premise of Bumble. For those who don't know, Bumble is all about the woman make the first move. The woman has to decide if we're going to continue the chat in the app. Handsome fucking dude.
Yeah.
It's our guy. He
That's our guy.
showed up twice in a weekend.
That's
Oh,
wild.
Pearson Fode played her,
Gonna be dreaming about him.
then became a husband.
How many abs in this movie?
You don't see any abs. You just see that fucking beautiful face
She
as he supports her correctly
yeah.
throughout her career.
The abs are implied.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
yeah, yeah.
You know they're there. We're all sitting there imagining.
Yeah. Excuse me.
I started Only Murders in the Building.
Okay, what? New
Season 5.
I'm on
Okay.
season 2, but I love that show.
It's
Same.
great. No,
Yeah.
it's very lovable. It's very cool. We being myself and my wife, have chosen to just do like one episode of Only Murders in the Building a night
Yeah.
and not binge it. It does feel a little bit silly and messy. This season 5, it's not astounding.
Yeah.
Did you guys see how much money Disney lost?
No. It's
Because
over Jimmy Kimmel.
of Jimmy
Yeah.
Kimmel's axing. Because he made a Charlie Kirk joke.
I did see a lot of people saying
No, I
cancel
know.
your Disney.
Yes, and
Yeah.
they've lost $3.8 billion. And their
Wait, how's Disney
cancel
involved?
subscription.
Disney owns ABC, which is the network on which
Uh,
Jimmy Kimmel is.
No, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, Disney owns
Yeah,
ABC.
and their cancel subscription page crashed because so many people were canceling their subscriptions in support of Jimmy Kimmel being axed for
yeah, no,
free
those comments.
speech.
But those comments were the little section of his monologue that people are citing as what got him cancelled.
Yes.
is nothing, man.
Yeah. I mean,
It's
like
like
it shouldn't result in this in the first place, you know.
Yeah.
It's like a little fascist thing happening in America there. It's
No,
scary.
all these little moves are being made on the chessboard, and
Yeah.
people aren't seeing the bigger picture, which is that we're slowly getting to this point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sus, man.
Sorry, a little bit of a
Okay.
serious dive there for a
Okay,
second.
well here we are saying watch Swiped on Disney Plus, but then
Okay.
watch it and then
And then
consider cancelling.
your. No, I'm kidding. You make whatever choice suits you.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you going to talk to us about Venice and
Yeah.
Yeah, let's end on this kind of stuff.
Cool.
So this part of the year is the beginning of Oscar campaign season.
Yes.
And that the real kickoff of that are the beginning of what are the fall festivals in the Northern Hemisphere. So you're talking about Venice, and you're talking about Toronto International Film Festival.
Okay.
Yeah.
Venice, decidedly more art house. Toronto, decidedly more commercial.
Okay.
Um,
And the timing of which I think is important to all of them. So Venice is always first, hey?
yes, Venice is first. There's occasionally overlap, like of a couple of days, but yeah, it's first Venice and then Toronto.
Yeah.
So you'll see films that premiere at Venice, have their world premiere, and then go and have their North American premiere at Toronto, where you can access a bigger audience and all of that stuff.
Yeah. What are the other ones?
The big sort of 5, so Venice, Toronto, Cannes, Sundance, and I'm gonna kick myself.
The Berlinale?
Berlinale. Thank you.
But the Berlin Film Festival, the Berlinale is not that big a thing.
So Berlinale, again, it's like the dark horse of this. So like it's even more art house than Venice.
yeah.
But there are still films that have their big premiere at Berlinale. And obviously Cannes has a lot of big premieres, but its calendar position is May.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, so can the Oscar films of this year,
Yeah.
the Oscar season of that's now kicking off, a lot of those premiered for the very first time
At Venice.
earlier this year at Cannes.
Well, some of them will premiere at Cannes. So okay. So fundamentally, like maintaining an Oscars campaign from Cannes all the way through until Oscars next year in Feb, early March,
Yeah,
is infinitely. It's harder to stay relevant. It's harder to because by the time everything new and shiny just came out at Venice and Toronto,
yeah.
and so now we've forgotten about what came out at Cannes.
It was like Dune last year. It's not unrelated to the festival discussion, but that came out at the start of the year. So everyone by Oscar season was like,
Yeah.
what? You know?
So it's notoriously hard. Films from Cannes do win Oscars, of course. Like Parasite is
and
a
Honora.
Yeah, a Nora, like, it's an incredibly prestigious kind of thing. At the same time, it also depends on who is kind of like funding the campaign through season.
Sure.
To talk about Venice, this year's Venice was stacked.
Yes.
So I'm going to give you a little bit of what was there. Yorgos Lanthimos' new Begonia,
Yeah.
which I assume you talked about the trailer already. But that looks intense and exciting. Jim Jarmusch has a new film, which
Yeah.
won Venice. Father, Mother, Sister, Brother. Frankenstein. Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein premiered at Venice. Catherine Bigelow has a new film, House of Dynamite, which actually looks like a banger. About kind of a sort of nuclear bomb kind of standoff. Noah Baumbach's new film, Jay Kelly, which will be on Netflix later this year. Park Chan-wook's new film, No Other Choice, which is being hailed as phenomenal.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, I'm so excited.
Yeah. The Smashing Machine,
Yeah, that
Benny
was there.
Safdie. Hang on, I'm scrolling. And yeah, so it was a banger of a year. And I think
Yeah.
a lot of things that were delayed by the strikes or are finding their feet this year at the festival. Yeah.
I think it's also worth mentioning to people that the festivals are very important for a film in its early life to build its economy. And by that is like if you win the awards
Yes.
at these festivals, you can get a better price tag
Number
attached to
one,
your film.
a lot of what happens, so the festivals also act as markets, right? So you've made the film and now a distributor is going to buy the film. Your price tag goes way up if you've won an award.
And a lot of those people in the industry are at these festivals,
Yes.
both formally and informally,
Yeah.
to barter deals. And the general public just once again would see just the top of Cannes, the red carpet and the glitz and the glam and the social scene. But literally below that red carpet is 4 floors of what is effectively the biggest film market in the world.
Yes.
And all the deals are done there.
There's an amazing documentary called Seduced and Abandoned about trying to sell a film at Cannes. I don't know where you might find it at this stage of the game, but I highly recommend a look.
Yeah.
No, exactly that. And so this journey, these are films you're going to hear about for the next 6 months. These are films you're definitely going to want to check out if you're into that kind of like challenging cinema. I think Toronto, Hamnet, Chloe Zhao's new film, got a lot of sparks and excitement. I'm very excited for it.
Yeah, no, and that will come to South Africa. It'll be in the early part of next year. It's in Jan.
Yeah, it's in that when we get the Oscar movies. Wake Up Dead Man, the new Knives Out film, premiered at Toronto. Those are sort of the ones that I was very, very excited about. But there are amazing things. I highly recommend just keeping your ear to the ground of what's going on at these festivals.
And it's very easy for us behind the counter of this video store to get caught up in all this hype because we're following it and we follow these social media, we're talking about it, we're getting a chance to watch these movies. And then you sometimes have to, or me personally with the Bioscope, I sometimes have to put my head up above the ground and go, oh, nobody gives a fuck about them.
Yeah, no one cares.
Like, no one's talking about this.
No.
I'm caught up in, I'm being facetious, but in many cases, that is the case.
100%. Like, it feels like on my Instagram, everybody's talking about it. But that's
like
my bubble.
everyone's talking about it. And then you realize, like, no, nobody kind of knows about it.
But
that's when those Saltburn moments are interesting, where at a lunch, or dinner party, you've got your sister-in-law who just is a normie to the max going, oh my god, we watched Saltburn last night.
Yes.
Such a weird movie. And you're like, fuck. And I got that with Sinners.
Yeah.
I've got this lovely office at the Bioscope where I'm literally kind of perched above the gift shop. And when we had it up in the lobby, the amount of young folks walking in, these are students, these are just general public people going, Sinners, oh my God, Sinners, are you still screening Sinners? I'm like, the poster's on the wall, bud. That means yes.
Yeah.
And it's like, you could just see that exploded in another way.
Right.
Same as The Summer I Turned Pretty when I was talking earlier.
Yes.
That just exploded in TikTok. It was the right film at the right time, that it had 3 seasons of garnering an audience, and now we're all going to focus our attention on the last episode to have watch parties. It's interesting.
Wow.
So every now and again it explodes further. Like Blink Twice did that for me.
Yeah. Parasite
Where-
famously did that as well.
Parasite, there's a few that just somehow just burst a little bubble and just go a little further and somehow sort of make its way into the rest. But there is still a lovely economy of people that know exactly what the fuck's going on and they will come out for it. I'm very excited to see the overwhelming love for One Battle After Another.
Yes.
Okay.
It's just proving it's fucking good.
Yeah.
I had to sign something, which I think is a little bit silly, that I wouldn't talk about it after having watched it.
I think you can say it exists, though.
No, of course I could say it exists, but what I've long since questioned with these distributors is like, okay, I get it, But if I think it's fucking awesome, can I
tell
not be telling people that it's fucking awesome?
Yes.
Like, why would that be illegal? Like, surely you want people to know it's fucking awesome.
Well, I think the embargo's ended. I saw reviews are starting to come out.
Yeah.
I'm again not reading because,
Yeah.
same as trailers, don't read them.
No, what I
Yes.
signed said that I shouldn't say anything until the release date, but that seems stupid.
Yeah. Well, I'm very jealous of whoever's on next week. That's when you guys talk about it, and
Yeah, well, there should be some. Hopefully, next week we'll have some kind of public preview.
yeah.
Oh no, it starts.
It starts on Friday,
It
I
starts
think.
this
Friday,
Friday.
yeah.
No, and they haven't advertised any public screening of it, but tickets are selling because
Yeah.
people are getting. They're getting the word.
Exactly.
But take this from whence it comes. I have not watched the trailer. I have not read any reviews, but go and see it.
Yes. No. And
Have a little bit of faith in the movies.
and of course, understand from the context of what I just said, you can make your own mind up about whether or not I think it's good.
Yeah.
No, no, it seems silly that I can't
Yeah.
talk about it now, but it's very good. Fuck that. It's good. All right. Anything else that you guys are burning to chat about?
Emmys.
Yeah.
Sure. Emmys.
No,
let's do a quick recap.
let's touch on that, and then we spoke a little bit about it last week,
Okay.
but didn't get too much into the weeds of it. What was a nice thing for you from the Emmys?
13 wins for the studio, most for any new comedy series in history, which was really cool. 8 for adolescents,
Yeah,
which we all loved. I think
Yeah.
everyone enjoyed that.
yeah. That kid
Enjoy
became
is
the,
a strong word.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
No, I think it was brilliant, but
like-
it wasn't like a rare and good time. you know
No,
what I mean?
yeah.
yeah.
No, totally.
Very cool to see that little kid.
Yes,
I think he was
Yeah.
he was the youngest.
Youngest
He's the
winner
youngest
for
winner.
actor,
Yeah.
yeah.
No.
Youngest acting.
Overall, a very good Emmys. I think the outcomes were right. We were complaining before. Obviously, The Bear didn't win anything, which was a shocker. But they really have to get out of the comedy category. It's-
Absolutely.
It's stop it. This has been going on for years, where people try to
Like,
they
this
don't
is
want to
absurd.
compete in drama, so they're like, no, we're a comedy. You know, because
Absolutely.
drama's so hard to win. The Pit. I think I was very happy to see that win.
I don't know about this.
It's fantastic.
Really?
Yeah.
Where
It's
are
in-
you watching it?
It's on Showmax.
Oh, shit.
So The Pit is it's Noah Wiley, who was on ER famously. They've come back to do another medical show, and we're all going, ugh, another medical show. Blah,
Right.
Blah, blah. But it is set almost like 24. Each episode is an hour of the shift, and so it's all semi in real time over the course of one day. And which is fantastic, but also I think a lot of the medical community has gone, like, apart from the fact that you get 7 of the rarest cases over the course of that day, they're like
Yes.
the ways in which it portrays the experience of being an emergency medicine doctor feels incredibly realistic and grounded, which
Okay.
you feel watching the show. It's a
Yes.
great show.
Okay, cool. Another cool one was Kristen Milioti for The Penguin.
I was glad
She
to see that.
crushed that,
Yeah.
dude.
I've never
That was-
watched The Penguin.
She was the highlights of that series by far.
No,
Like,
but
you
I
think-
heard she was really good.
Oh.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you like that?
Yeah.
I think that's also Showmax.
Yes,
Yeah,
HBO
because
will be on
it's an
Showmax.
HBO,
Yeah.
yeah.
Lovely, man.
Yeah.
No,
That's it.
But yeah, it was good. It was good to see. I was happy to see Hacks win a little bit. I think that show's got a lot of heart. Also HBO, also Showmax.
Yeah, I did season 1 of that. I thought it was cool.
No.
Lovely. Thank you, guys. Appreciate your time. Thank
Yeah,
you for coming
thank
in.
you.
And we'll see you guys again next week.
Cool.
But yeah, those who've made it this far, we hope to see you perhaps tonight, if you were listening to this on Tuesday, at This Is Spinal Tap, our video store presents night at the Bioscope. But yeah, lekker. See you guys again next week. Oh, shit, I got to tell you, because now that it's official and it's
Yeah.
in the Google Drive, I have banked an episode with a guy called Zach Ackers. Do you remember Zach, Sam, from our varsity
No.
days?
Why is that name familiar to me?
He was one of the NYU exchange students.
Yes.
Okay. Zach is a fantastic writer
Yeah.
who went on to produce a podcast called Limetown,
Yes.
which was one of the most successful scripted audio podcasts.
It's a really good time. I did listen to it.
Then went on to be one of the writers of Him, which is the new Jordan Peele
Okay.
produced horror that's on its way.
That's cool.
So yeah, so knowing that Him was coming out, we've banked this episode of him talking about the whole process of what it's like to be one of the writers of this now big Hollywood film that's on the cusp of
Yeah.
release.
That's cool, man.
So yeah, that'll
Okay.
come out.
Awesome.
That'll come out real soon. We'll time it accordingly. We'll see, but it's in the next sort of 2 or 3 episodes. Will be this episode with this writer.
Dope.
Cool. All right, lekker. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cut shells. Bye.
Boy.
Bye.